missing, not fulfilling your duties, not stepping up, dropping the ball is a full-on choice. Why your world is yours. The sole purpose of my program is to help you get closer to that level of consciousness where you are aware of the very decision you are making. Either you're deciding to accept the way in, or you're someone who's deciding to seek the way out. Why your world is yours. You get to this level where you realize it's all a choice. Every single last outcome, every single last input into the sequence of your life, all consequences follow all your inputs. So all the excuses in the world simply become embarrassments, disrespect, imbecile reflections of a fucking idiot. Why would I ever make an excuse? An excuse is a confession of inferiority. I say that all the time. Now, it hit me this morning as I was waking up. This voice came over me. This was like, you're tired. And then I almost believed it. I felt the emotions. I felt whatever the fuck. I almost believed this shit. And then I just saw all my people. I saw all my people, all the people on the program, all the people who believe in me, and all the people who are right on the edge of making that commitment to greatness, because they've been seeing an individual just solid like a motherfucker for so long. I saw all of them. And then I saw the decision to miss. Like, all right, let's run the hypothesis. I don't think certain people have the capacity to think ahead of time, but sure, I do. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, so what happens when you do miss? Not that I really was going to, but when you start to believe dumb shit, you start to see the outcomes. Like, if you really get to that level of awareness, you know what's on the other side of a lot of shit. So anyway, I see the decision. I'm like, well, today's the day I didn't do the 444. So then what the fuck? That's it? Everybody's gonna feel let down and disappointed. So then you realize, what is it to wake up and do what you say you were gonna do? What is it to continue to do what you say you want to do? What is it to live a life in concordance, in alignment with the best outcome possible? Is it really that difficult of a task to wake up and handle business? See, that's when you realize, if you really understood the whole paradigm that I just explained, I almost believed that I was tired. And even, it happens to me a lot. But you usually just override this shit. And what you realize is, you gotta stop thinking so much. Because the only thing that the greatest lesson in that whole maybe 2-second transpiration was, wow, people start thinking. And it's not even when they see a task, or they see what must be done, they see the task, and the task is really simple. This is what I'm learning. The task is really simple. It's wake up. It's get yourself right. Go handle business. Whatever the fuck. Anything. All things, actually. The task is so simple. What happens is people start thinking about themselves, and they start to create these dread scenarios in the face of the work. So now you start thinking, but you're not simply thinking and like, oh man, this is going to be awesome. This is going to be the greatest day. People are so good at drafting dreadful scenarios. It's like, why the fuck would I want to think that I'm tired? I've done this 300 and something times because it's about to be a whole year of these 444s, right? Motherfucker just didn't miss, right? And so I've been here, but people just create these dumbass situations. So you got to stop thinking about yourself, right? So why your world is yours, y'all got to realize all this missing shit that's going on is a high indication of who you really are. You just show that you don't give a fuck. And that's the worst part about it. You don't give a fuck about you. You don't give a fuck about your people. And this is why I say we must make our assessments. They want you to turn off your judgment. They want to use rhetoric to make you turn off your faculty of judgment. But the faculty of judgment is what helps you discriminate between crossing the street on a fucking 5-way freeway, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I'm saying? Playing Frogger with this shit versus like not doing that because that's a fucking dumb decision, right? Drinking cyanide or not fucking doing that. Touching fire or not fucking doing that. Putting your finger in an electrical socket and not doing that. That's what judgment does. So now, once we realize you don't give a fuck about you and you're a selfish fuck and you don't give a fuck about your people, you're a selfish fuck, then we get to the realization that you can't give a fuck about me more than you give a fuck about yourself. That's one thing we can respect across all humanity. We should all give a fuck about ourselves so much that we live our lives in this way that like it reflects that we actually care about ourselves and our well-being. Like we protect our well-being, our greatest good, by all means, at any means, even from ourselves, right? Most importantly, from ourselves. But we give a fuck. That's what it means. Give a fuck, care. We care enough about ourselves that it leaks over into caring for others. You can only love me to the capacity that you love yourself. You can only respect me to the capacity that you respect yourself, right? So like we just said, you can only give a fuck about me to the capacity that you give a fuck about yourself. So if you obviously don't give a fuck about you and you're ready to sell you out, then it would only be an indication of wise judgment, discernment at this point, to realize that you're a liability waiting to happen. You're a rat. You're a sellout. You're somebody that when shit gets thick, we can't rely on you. So do we really want to keep you around? Because that means you're only around to benefit yourself. Why your world is yours. Just the thought of me letting down. I saw so many faces. And listen, it's not like this is new. This is just me really dissecting the mental space. This is why we give you the non-negotiables. The non-negotiables is the coachables. You know what I'm saying? What's going to happen is you're going to say, I'm waking up at 5 a.m. You're either going to choose yourself or choose the people. You're going to have to eat. You can't avoid eating. So you're not going to just not eat. Most of y'all just so addicted to food, you're really not going to not eat. So it's either you're going to eat in alignment with creating the best individual, creating that mental discipline to even have the sacrifice and the fortitude to live above personal gratification of animal pleasures. You're going to raise yourself into the state of a God, you know what I'm saying, closer to God, get into God consciousness. That's what Ramadan and Taqwa has to do with everything. Ramadan is a gateway to Taqwa. Taqwa is God consciousness, right? That's why you're supposed to refrain from animal tendencies, observe yourself, and exercise power through restraint. You know what I'm saying? That's what Ramadan builds, right? So when you get to the food aspect, you choosing to create this high level, high integrity, non-sellout motherfucker, or you just choose to indulge in your little feelings and you want to taste something, and then now the moment is over and look at you. You done chose you and you chose the lesser outcome, right? Why your world is yours. Same thing with the gym. You know, it's simple. How much do you care about yourself? are you really going to allow yourself to like just live and exist as that? Wow, okay, so that's how much you care about yourself. Your care for us can't exceed your care for yourself, because intrinsically, that's what's going to happen. Everybody is like selfish. It's a matter of the caricature of your selfishness. Does your selfishness allow you, this is why successful people are called selfish. Last note. Does your selfishness force you to selfishly live in alignment with the greatest possible outcome because you actually care about yourself? Or does your selfishness force you to live and choose the outcome which is less favorable for yourself and for others, because you wanted some momentary gratification of your animal nature or your lower realms? I don't want to use these words because y'all gonna get complicated. 𝙎𝙬𝙊𝙆𝙎, your world is yours. Consider the vibrations raised. You gotta start realizing, man, it ain't a fucking about you, dog. And y'all create all these dread scenarios towards simple shit. People are like, how you stay motivated? I am excited that I am alive. I am excited that I am finally living in alignment with my highest well-being. And I'm not feeling forced to do it. That's the thing. I don't believe in forcing people, or like, you know, that's why religion, quote unquote, never works, because people never come to the realizations on their own. So it's an external pressure trying to force them to do what's best for them, and they don't even realize the intrinsic value of what's fucking best for them. Right. So when you come to the realization and you become a believer in well-being and the universal laws for yourself, the growth becomes effortless. The self-love becomes effortless. It's no fucking, the dumbest choice is to make the dumbest choice. What the fuck? Does that make sense to you? The dumbest choice is to make the dumbest choice. The smartest choice is to make the smartest choice. So if you ain't making the smartest choice, you're definitely not making the smartest choice. And you might not be making the dumbest choice, but not making the smartest choice is the dumbest choice. You get me? 𝙎𝙬𝙊𝙆𝙎, your world is yours. He's a fucking genius. Consider the vibrations raised. Get around real people. And at the end of the day, we are judging you because you can't give a fuck about us more than you give a fuck about yourself. And if that sloppy, undisciplined, self-serving, addicted, out of shape, lacking application of knowledge, and broke motherfucker is who you care to be, then motherfucker, we can't fuck with that. Consider the vibrations raised.